My compliments and respects to the distinguished participants at this international conference. I am Major General Ibrahim Yusuf, the Force Commander Multinational Joint Task Force from 19th of November 2019 to 19th of March this year. And I just took over command as Chief of Operations for Nigerian Army in Abuja barely 24 hours ago. Now, my comments on the topic fighting against insurrectional terrorism is based on my past experiences as a frontline commander of 21 Armored Brigade based in Maiduguri, and then later as General Officer commanding 7 Division under the auspices of Operation Zaman Lafia and Lafia Dole in northeast Nigeria from 2013 to 2018, and of course from my recent experience as Force Commander Multinational Joint Task Force. First, I would like to point out that the threat confronting us in the Lake Chad basin, that is the countries of Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Nigeria, is an insurgency-based terrorism. This means that the main motive of the terrorist is to undermine our respective governments, our respective countries, and by implication, its people, its military, and of course, the security agencies. Consequently, there can be no such thing as a completely military solution to the terrorism insurgency confronting us. At the same time, we cannot have anything that is completely a political solution. So what I'm saying here is that we will require the right mix of kinetic and non-kinetic action, and all elements of national power must be integrated in our counter-insurgency strategy. And we also have to recognize one thing, which is that it is not our armies that are at war. It is our countries, because oftentimes the impression we get from the media, from the public, is as if it is the army that is at war. So it's not just the armies, it's the entire countries of the Lake Chad Basin. So in this regard, there are 3 key entities that must work together: the people, the government, and the military. Now, the closer these 3 entities work together, the easier it is and the faster it will be to be able to deal with the dual threats of insurgency and terrorism. And the farther away these 3 entities work together, the farther away they work together, then the more difficult it will be, and the longer the threats will be with us. So there is need for synergy between the government, the people, and the military, along with other security agencies. Next, I would like to highlight the linkage between security, development, and governance on one hand, and of course countering and prevention of violent extremism on the other hand. One of our major findings from several surrendered Boko Haram over the years have shown to us that significant number of those that joined the Boko Haram, whether it's Boko Haram or ISWAP, they do so largely for financial considerations. It is also well established that the lifeblood of terrorism in the Lake Chad Basin is the finances which these groups get through taxes that they impose on fishermen, on cattle headers, on farmers, as well as the ransom they collect from the people each time they kidnap. And of course, we know they loot, they commit robbery, amongst other sources of finance. So while I am a strong advocate of decisive military action against the terrorists, against the insurgents, I also recommend the need for infrastructure and human development of the people of the Lake Chad basin. Boko Haram narratives in spreading violent extremism have always cited governance and development deficits, especially in rural areas. So the best way to change this terrorist narrative is actually to alter the realities that define the narratives of these terrorists, so as to create new conditions for new narratives. This will also address some of the root causes of insurgency and terrorism within our respective countries. In other words, what I'm saying is that we must pursue development even with more energy and resources than we pursue physical security. Finally, I want to stress once again that synergy, cooperation and collaboration by Cameroon, Chad, Niger and Nigeria, as exemplified by the multinational joint task force, in close collaboration with national military and security forces, is obviously a step in the right direction, as no one country can deal with this threat alone. Of course, our experiences over the years have clearly demonstrated this. However, there is the need to enhance the capabilities, the capacities of the forces, both within the MNJTF and amongst the national military and security agencies. At the same time, the economic, political, psychological, civic lines of efforts by our respective countries has to be synchronized. In other words, we must also have a common approach, common strategy between and amongst these four countries that I've mentioned: Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Nigeria. That's the only way we'll be able to achieve the desired outcome. So I want to once again thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts with you, and I hope my contribution will also generate further discussions. Thank you and God bless.